Hey, what is up, everybody? Sean here, and we've had a lot of crazy things happen over the weekend, some really good things, and then some not so good things. So the good news is on the stimulus package and stimulus bill. That is actually looking to be passed here later today, and it does look like there is some bipartisan support on both Nancy Pelosi's and Mitch McConnell's side. There are some modifications to this particular proposal, though, so we'll be diving into that, specifically what it means in terms of the stimulus checks, unemployment, all of that stuff. But on the not so good news side, there is a new strand of COVID that has emerged. Right now, it's just in the kind of London, UK area, and I don't think we've seen it in any other markets yet. But there's a lot of new research and studying going on with that. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, did give some speeches and announcements regarding that, and he has advised anybody in the UK and London area, if you have any plans this week for Christmas with family and stuff, he really advises to basically cancel all of it. Do not get with other family members. Do not get with anybody else outside of your current household. He has now been labeled the man who canceled Christmas. Now, like I said, there's a lot of research going on right now, and the reason why this is such a big deal is because as of right now, it is thought that this new strand is upwards of 70% more contagious than the strand we've been dealing with. Now, that has not been confirmed. There's a lot of research going on right now to test if that's actually true or not. One of the reasons why they think this might be the case is because somewhere of like 50% of new cases that are happening in that area do have the new strand, and it's spreading really, really fast. In addition to that, they're also doing testing to see if this particular strand is resistant to the vaccines that are just being pushed right now. Now, we do not know. It's not been confirmed either way yet, but that is something that's going on right now, which could play an effect. So, there's a lot of travel restrictions and travel bans happening in different countries, not allowing people from the UK to enter in. So we're seeing a lot of shifts there. Now, on the good note, which is the stimulus package and the stimulus bill, like I said, a little bit later today, it is expected that we're going to actually have finally passed the newest stimulus aid relief, which has been talked about and been discussed for the last 5 months with all kinds of new, reiterations and changes and back and forth. But I think we finally kind of came upon an agreement. Earlier today, Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell have both stated that these are very good plans. Nancy Pelosi even stating that this is a really good starting point, and that, later on, we could probably see even more stuff down the line. And I think that this is because, if you've been following some of my videos or just the news in general, Biden has been pushing on the Democratic side to look at this as a down payment. We may not get everything that we want in this particular package, but if we can get something out there to all the millions of Americans that really need this, once he gets into office, he gets his team assembled, they can quickly go to work and try to pass a much larger relief bill or further aid down the road. So let's talk about what this bill entails specifically. So this particular package, or this particular proposal, is a $900 billion stimulus package. And it has a $600 a week stimulus check. So they have stated that they are going to give stimulus checks out. I know for the longest time those have not been in, but recently they were included. However, it's only going to be $600, and it will go out to most Americans. As we know right now, it will go to anybody who earns under $75,000 a year, including dependents. So that means that a family of 4 could be receiving upwards of $2,400. The secretary has stated that if we can get this thing passed today, it's actually likely that we could even be mailing out checks within the next week. So that would mean that Americans could start getting their stimulus checks as early as early January. In addition to that, there will be a federal unemployment extension of around $300 a week up until mid-March. Now, in addition to the stimulus checks and the $300 a week unemployment extensions, we are going to have additional funds going to other programs, $300 billion going to small businesses in the form of loans and grants. So that's probably going to be things like that PPP program, things like that. It looks like we have about $57 billion going to coronavirus testing, tracing, distribution, and things related to the vaccine. $82 billion will be going towards the schools, and around $45 billion going towards public transit. Now, as I stated in one of my most recent videos, there is going to be an eviction moratorium extension as well as a $25 billion rental assistance. So I want to talk about a study that just came out with the University of Chicago and Notre Dame that shows just how dire the situation is to help us understand, is this package going to be enough to help Americans out as this virus continues to progress and as the vaccines begin to be distributed? But according to this study, around 7.8 million Americans have fallen into poverty, and around 11.7% poverty rate increase just in the month of November. Now, just as a few side notes or this little piece of information, the federal poverty line is when you have an income of $26,200 for a family of 4. Now, this spike and this increase is the largest increase in the last 60 years. So around 12 million people right now are also behind on their rent. So the real question becomes, is this big enough or is this good enough to keep us afloat? Now, while it's good to hear that more than likely this is going to be passed, because we do have the agreements and bipartisan agreement on Mitch McConnell and Pelosi, both stating this is a very good starting point, you have to understand that these provisions and these aids and relief packages are only going to about mid-March. And while that's helpful, my guess is more than likely we're still going to be having the effects of this stuff, because according to a lot of the vaccine data and what we're hearing in the news, a lot of these vaccines are not going to be readily available to the American public on a mass scale until that spring, early summer. So even though we're getting progress and vaccines are being distributed, for us to really start to get back to a closer to new normal, it's probably going to be spring, early summer. And then you also have to think about this. Once everybody has a vaccine readily available, how fast or how likely are we going to be going back to normal with traveling and spending, eating out at restaurants and stuff? I do think because so many people have been hit financially, you're probably going to see a very slow rollout of people getting back to that normal situation. Most people are probably going to be spending a chunk of their time trying to pay back missed rents or debts they've accumulated on credit cards, bills they're behind upon, because they have not been getting the relief that they've been needing. I think in addition to that, you're going to see more companies continuing to downsize as revenues maybe go down. So I really don't know that this particular thing is going to be enough to really help. I don't think this is going to be the last round of aid. Which with all the stuff happening, I just don't see this being the last straw. But I want to hear your comments below. What are your thoughts? Please comment below your feelings on the federal unemployment extension, these stimulus checks. Is it enough? Do we need more aid? What are your thoughts? Make sure you leave those below. And also, if you haven't done yet, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button channel for me. It would mean the world to me. Be sure to keep checking in for more videos. If you haven't checked out my channel yet and you are all about personal finance, building wealth, entrepreneurship, investing, things like that, my channel might be for you. So make sure you check that out. Stay safe and stay well.